All right, so first, I just want to say good afternoon, everyone. My name is Brian Clayton. I am here today on behalf of the Healing City Baltimore Summit. I just want to go over two topics today about mental health and self-care. Two very important topics, especially in today's society, especially with us, dealing with COVID-19 and things like that. So I just want to kind of debrief into those two topics today. I want to thank everyone for joining me today. Um, Definitely checking out the other sessions as well afterwards. And just from February the 3rd to the 7th, just tune in. Uh, so this is a table of contents of what I'm going to cover. So icebreaker, going to do a debrief about YSL, um, and what is mental health and self-care, and discussion and a closing activity. So just a mini icebreaker for the people that's in the chat that's watching. Um, so the first question I have is like, which one are based on your mood for the day? Like a 1 through 9, if everyone can just type in the chat for these reactions, just to get the feedback. The chat. Um, I don't even see the chat. That's fine. We'll just continue. Yes, I don't even see a chat. But so Young Successful Leaders overview. Um, so our mission is to strengthen future leaders by developing entrepreneurship skills, wealth building, and community engagement. Our vision is youth engaged in their communities, building sustainable pathways through mentoring of younger youth with shared life experiences. Our four values are, and one is integrity, the second one is impact, the third one is accountability, and the fourth one is proactive. Our slogan, we build youth that build youth. And we work with 5 pillars. Our pillars of success, so job readiness, entrepreneurship, community engagement, and financial wealth, STEAM skills, science, technology, arts, and mathematics. And now we're going to go into the topic of the day, the discussion. So mental health and self-care, what is it and how do we handle it? So what is mental health? Mental health is a state of well-being in which an individual understands how to cope with normal stresses of life and can function productively. What is self-care? Self-care is the practice of taking action to preserve or improve one's mental health. And then mental health is, so it's important, something everyone has. Just some topics going off of here, so worth making time for, part of being human, something we need to look after, a positive plus a negative. Mental health isn't. So a sign of weakness, shameful, all in your mind, always something negative, something you decide to have, something you think about. Feeling good all the time. It's kind of hard to feel good all the time, and just day to day we have a lot that we have going on in our daily lives. So just common things like that. So just to go over some discussion questions. So what do you think your mental says about you? So just debriefing into that on my end is just like, what do you think mentally bothers you on a day-to-day basis? Whether that's just the day-to-day, the things that you're going through, your mindset, how you feeling, it's different topics that involve things like that. Then how can we bring more awareness to mental health and the different disorders within it? A lot comes with that, especially dealing with our young people, the challenge that they face on a day-to-day basis, and the challenge that we face as individuals on a day-to-day basis as well. How can we get our youth involved in learning about mental health? This is a big topic, especially for our young people. I always want to encourage our young people just to keep that positive mindset. It's definitely hard right now, living in the conditions that we're living in, especially now we have COVID-19, so we have to wear a mask every day. we social distancing. It's a different kind of way of living, and it's something that we just never seen before, and we have to get used to the norm. And then how have you managed your mental health during COVID-19, which has definitely been an impact on a lot of us. A lot of us have family members that have probably had COVID-19, different challenges like that. It's just been harder way of living right now. It's like 2x, so life kind of extremely got more harder for the conditions that we're currently living in. So changing the narrative, right? Just to debrief and like to go into these topics as far as like this is 5 topics that we have is like gun violence as day to day, lack of education, lack of job opportunity slash training, lack of support, and living in poverty. I had this picture in the background because our young people, like this is what they see when they come outside. This is what we see on a day-to-day basis. We see boarded up house, vacant house, vacant house, vacant house. Living in those conditions is hard. It's definitely hard. Seeing it every day. Like when we go outside, it's just like we already in a system where it's just we got to work 2 times harder to get to become successful. And just living, like I say, living in these conditions is hard. It's like it's a norm for us now. We're just so used to it that our young people have normalized it. So it's hard for them to really want to touch success. They want to be great. They want to do these great things, but it's like it's just so hard because it's like they're back against the wall and they had that lack of support. So that's why I say we need to be there for them. We need these job opportunities. We need to have these real conversations, and we need to also listen to our young people when they talk. They have a lot of ideas. I listen to them. I'm still a young guy. I'm only 22 years old, but they're like 15 to 14. They giving me ideas, and I just listen to them. Because you have to really understand them. Our young people are going to lead the next generation. We have to be giving them opportunities available for them to lead that next generation and help guide them. So that's very important to me. So just continue. So looking at some ways to improve our city for our young people, right? So what we just discussed is about what we're already lacking in. So more job opportunities, teaching our young people about entrepreneurship, listening to our young people about their creative ideas. Once again, they have a lot of ideas, and we just sometimes neglect them or shut them down and close them out, which isn't a good thing to do all the time. Host more community cleanups. I think like my vision on that is just like if we take the area of like Emerson Village where I grew up at when I currently live at right now, and we do a cleanup, and then we go to Park Heights and they do a cleanup. So start maybe a cleanup community competition within the city. And I think we continuously do that. That'll change things. Like we'll stop throwing the trash on the ground that we see that we do on a day-to-day basis. They'll start seeing that, especially our young people. When they see us doing it, they're gonna follow behind us. It's important to start leading. Leaders always lead. So I think that's another key asset that we should add to. Support and show more love. That's something that we lack right now in general. It's just we don't show a lot of love or support to one another, and that's hard. Everybody's going to have their different opinions on different things, but I feel like if the city just comes together and we do more together, and we can become a better city for one Baltimore. Um, the last is what it started. Yeah, so I host some more youth events on the weekends to keep them engaged by doing something positive. I brought this up because I kind of think that we have more. If our young people are doing more positive things on the weekends, they're not in the streets. They're out. They're actually doing something fun, and the parents don't really have to, call and checking on them. They know their child's out there doing something positive and they're actually engaging and they're doing something fun. So when I kind of look at that, it's like if you got something, you got them doing something fun. They're in a safe environment. Then things will change. The streets will be where they're at, but the kids are safe. That's always important. Just making sure the parents know that their kids are safe and they're doing something fun and engaging. They're also learning. So that's something big to me. Yeah, like I said, just a lot. I just want to see how honestly I see how young people grow, listen to them, just to see them grow and inspire them, and just be a voice for them. Um, so mine was kind of brief. If you could choose, I didn't know the chat wouldn't be on, but if you could take only one of these, which one would you take and pick one and why? So we got true freedom, optimistic, and peace. Let me see my screen at the bottom. I believe it's host. Yeah, love, hope, wisdom, or art. So if you had the chance to choose one of these and why, um, if I do see someone, or if someone wants to announce or choose one, that's fine. Definitely want to get the people engaged in the conversation.
This is tough. This is tough.
Mhm.
This is tough. One, I
Um,
need a second. I honestly feel like, okay, because I have to pick one, I'm gonna say love.
okay, why you choose love?
I choose love because it's the heart and just the sentiment that I feel about my city, the sentiment that I feel about the people that I meet, that I work with, that I serve. And I feel like a lot of what we talk about in these atmospheres is a lack of love and hard work. Like we use a lot of fancy jargon about how things need to be done and what the problems are, but we never really talk about the hard work. And so that's why I selected love.
Okay, I appreciate your feedback. Did anyone else want to choose one? Mhm.
Yeah, this is a tough one as well, I have to say. I think on that note, I'd have to move forward and pick peace,
Mhm.
just because although all the other options are good as is, I feel like there's two sides of every option. Kind of like personally, aside from peace, I'd probably pick freedom. But then I think about things like just like Jim Crow era, things like that. You know, you can have freedom in a sense or a form of freedom, but there's still chaos that can still follow. And with that in mind, you have things like hope, but I still feel like there's a downside as well. So I feel like peace is a good center point for all of it because at the end of the day, you know, you want to have love in your heart, things like that, or optimism. But peace is the core value I think that stems from a lot of those things.
Gotcha. Appreciate your feedback. Anyone else want to choose one? I know it's hard and it's difficult.
Yeah, this is difficult, but I was kind of thinking hope because I feel like when you think of making changes, it can be local, smaller scale, and then you have the larger scale. And when you get to that larger context, people can lose a lot of hope because they see, oh, this takes a lot more paperwork, or there's like bureaucracy, or you need to convince people that these problems matter. Um, and if people maybe had more hope that things could change at that larger level, then more people would be invested, I guess.
Great, great, thank you. Mhm. Anyone else? That's fine. I'll choose one. That's even for myself. I know it's hard, but I would say wisdom. Um, and I say that just being like being creative. I know myself personally. Just I would say wisdom. All of them are great ones to be honest, though. But if I had to choose one, it came down to it. I would choose wisdom. Just being innovative, being creative, always coming up with those creative ideas. Man, like the Wizard of Oz. Um, so let me see. I know I got probably just a couple more, but I do. So I do want to go back a little bit, just to go back and touch in the right here, back to changing that narrative. Because we got, like we said, we had gun violence, we had lack of education, lack of job opportunities, training, and lack of support and living in poverty. But I just go back to these because I just think, like I said, I always think about our young people, you know, and the conditions and the things that they're going through on a daily day basis. Because for them, like I just want, and I not just want this for us, but just for all our young people now, all the older people, elderly people too as well. And just like I said, those young people, they had to thrive, they had those ideas. We just gotta listen to them more. Like they're very creative. You just listen to them, they always engage me. Like anytime I step in the room with young people, I just gotta bring a sense of different urgency, a different energy. They give me a different vibe, and they inspire me to want to go out and just continue to do that great work that I've been doing in the past. Like I said, they inspire me. I just want to be an inspiration to them as well, and a good leader, and someone that they can look up to and they can count on. It's doing honest work and honest favors for, so yeah, it's all about, like I say, changing that narrative. I don't want to go too far back, but I did want to touch back bases with that. And then, so just covering these right here, so some self-care solutions. And I think everyone on this call would definitely be encouraged to use these solutions. So physically, I have healthy diet, regular exercise, getting quality sleep, making time for relaxation and fun, wear your mask at all times. So in COVID right now, COVID-19, it's definitely changed everyone's lives. Staying social distancing, so work and study, develop interests and friendships outside of your environment, work slash study environment. Then we're going to tap over to the right side. So the right side, we have relationships. This is a topic. Contact family and friends. I always encourage everyone that I talk to about contacting your families and friends, especially right now, because you just don't know what they're going through at these hard, rough times. You know, if you haven't talked to Uncle Lou or Aunt Jackie in a while, get them a call. You know, I'm definitely going to encourage that anybody that I talk to, you know, if they're sitting there, they might, you never know what they're going through right now. So you definitely want to. This is a great, awesome time to check in and see how they're doing. Any family or friends. So I force that to everyone that I talk to in general. Strive for balance between your work and your personal life. That's definitely a challenge right now. It's just if you're working from home or if you still have to go to work in person, that's definitely a challenge because you know don't really want to catch cold from anyone. Definitely while you're at work. Um, so that's another conversation there too. Spiritually, if you have spiritual beliefs, make time for regular spiritual practice or relationships with others, and just philosophy. Share your philosophy. And ask for help. So reach out for support when you need it. I always tell my young people and anybody that I know, just have those conversations, those one-on-ones. Hey, how you doing? What's you going on? How's your day? How's your week going? How's life going in general? You know, because you just never know what someone's going through. That's another thing too that we face is this. We just never know what another person is going through in their life, especially at these times right now. I hope these topics step out to anyone to find. If anyone had any feedback on them, that's we greatly appreciated. Or just any comments. If I continue, I'm pretty.
I just would like to share that, um, I guess, sort of a positive about this experience that we all are experiencing is that one, we're all in it. It affects us differently, but it really has taught us one to be grateful for a lot of things that we may have taken for granted, but then also innovative ways. And it kind of put me specifically in a space of all the things that I felt like I couldn't do to experiment and try new things. Like I felt like I didn't have a green thumb, but I started a garden. So, doing some other things that maybe you felt like you didn't have time to do, but now you can make time to do, and experiment with other things that you never know may bring you joy.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Like and this time too, I kind of learned something about myself. It's just that being, you kind of want to plan right now. Like it's a good time to plan right now. I would say so when COVID is over, that you're ready for it. Like you're ready to go do those things that you wanted to do if COVID didn't happen. So I would say like it's kind of balance. It's a win-win kind of situation. It's still hard, but it's like, okay, I have a great time to plan right now. So when COVID, things are going back to normal, I'm ready for it. I'm prepared. So it kind of gives you that. And then also I tell people too this as well. We never know when this will happen again. We hoping it doesn't, but you just never know. So you have to always be prepared for the worst at the end of the day too. Because if COVID comes back around, we've been through that before. So now my mindset is already triggered on, okay, I've been through COVID before. So now I know the expectation. I know what I'm gonna have to prepare for. I know another thing too. I wanted to ask this to people that are like, I know, wish I had some young people on here too as well. But if I get their feedback later on, it's just that how they're dealing with school, and then how us that work from home. What are we dealing with right now? What are the challenges that we're facing working from home in our environment? If anyone wanted to give feedback on that, I know we have a lot of people that are working from home.
I just want to be conscious of my airtime and give others an opportunity to speak and share. But I'll say that it's tough because of technology. And sometimes people think that we're machines and we're not, just because we have access to so many things at our fingertips. So for me, it's like constantly being mindful and actually bringing this up in spaces, to give myself grace and to give others grace, because just because I'm home and I have access to work doesn't mean that I want to do this 24 hours a day. So just being mindful.
Yeah, I would definitely agree. Like I know from my end, I just had to learn about like different softwares too. Like I'm not no tech support guy, but it's like you gotta know this Google Docs, this Gantt chart, this different. I'm just like, oh, I ain't unprepared for this. Let's go back in the office. Let me get back on the job because this is tough right here. There's a lot of different technology softwares out there, so that's definitely been a challenge for me. But I've been able to learn and progress with them. But yeah, the office come back available, and I'm ready to go back in. Um, but yeah, let me see. So this is our last. Let's see. So our website, if anyone wants to check this out, Young Successful Leaders, email is youngsuccessfulleaders1@gmail.com for our contact. We do have some events and things coming up this month. Um, and our website, of course, is also in the chat too. Well, it doesn't have a chat, which I did, but that is on here as well. I have a couple minutes left, so yeah, any comments, questions anyone has doing for the presentation, just in general. I have about 5 more minutes left, and then I'll wrap up. I definitely do, before I get off, I want to shout out to Healing City, Baltimore. I do want to encourage everyone to check out all the other sessions that are going on. I'm honored to be a part of it, and yeah, that's it. So, say any questions, comments, concerns.
Yeah, if I could jump, I certainly appreciate the information and being able to speak to you regarding even just having my son be involved, right? I believe in the work, so thank you. You did a dynamic job today. I'm looking forward to the sip and paint for the kiddos and some
Appreciate
other
it.
things, some other beautiful projects that you all have coming up.
Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Appreciate
And I see you, Miss Victor. Miss Victor, I'm coming for you. I'm trying to get them points. There
it.
she go.
Oh yeah, she the one
There
that's
she
winning
go.
right now. Then
Yeah, she the one.
she the one that's winning.
Yeah, she the
I
one that's winning.
I just want to sincerely apologize for being late. I was having some issues with getting into the sessions. I do sincerely apologize for my for being late.
No, you good because I actually was
Please.
too. Yeah, I was
Yeah,
too.
no. She's awesome. So I'm catching her. Every time she calls me, I call her.
Brandon, hi, this is Vernice Turner. I have a question.
Yes.
How will this recording be made available for others to see that weren't able to be on here today?
To be honest, I would believe I would have to get it from Healing City, Baltimore. But if it saves to my computer, then I'll have it and I can share it Facebook via social media.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I know I just took a picture of your website since your chat's not working. I took a picture of
Yeah,
it.
I didn't know about that because I had some activities on here too as well. That's why I was trying to get people engaged, and I was like, I didn't know the chat wasn't working. So
No, that's okay. You've done an outstanding job. I've gotten
I
a lot of
appreciate it.
information.
I
I appreciate it.
appreciate it.
Indeed. So if I could just share really briefly, Hoover will continue to have the information for days to come, so they can kind of come click and say I'm in your session, but there's another one I wanted to see. You can go back and see other sessions and things of that nature as well. So it stays available on Hoover.
That'll work. That'll work. That'll work.
And if I could just add one last thing before we close out, which I think you have like a minute left.
Yeah,
when I think about you changing, your slide about changing the narrative of Baltimore, I always think about building our family unit, like whatever that family looks like, because it looks different for all of us. But that's also something I feel like that's like a major sort of key in all of this. Is definitely building up our family unit.
Yeah, I definitely agree 100%. I definitely agree with that statement. Because like you said, like it's a lot. We have a lot of single mothers, single fathers. It's not too much unity, like you said, together. We had that mom and dad in the same house, and then the child is also there as well, and they're growing up with mom and dad together. It's a lot of broken homes, we would say. So like you said, with the family unity, I definitely agree with that statement. Yeah, that's true.
I think the young people that the opening session was so dynamic and amazing. And as a parent, it spoke to me, to my heart. And so it's like really encouraged me to talk with other parents about really listening to their kids and engaging with their kids and understanding that their children are smarter than what we're giving them credit for, that, you know, they're humans and they're pretty dope. And so let's just kind of lift them up and speak life into them so that they can be the amazing beings that they're here to be.
Definitely, for sure. You said in the morning session, right, with those young kids, Heart Smiles
It was
MD.
everything. It was everything.
I was tuned into as well. They, like I said, they inspired me. I was sitting there, I was just like, I'm listening to their ideas. I'm like, I said, they inspired me. That's definitely another great organization here in Baltimore too, as well. I definitely want to shout out Heart Smiles MD.
Yeah.
You know, Miss Joni over there who's leading. They're doing some awesome work here in Baltimore. So definitely want to encourage them and shout out to them as well.
Yes, thank you again. And everyone have an amazing rest of your day.
I appreciate y'all.
You as well.
Thank you.